Chapter 15. The space has been upgraded again. Gunwon felt better after eating and began to feel drowsy. Chun Qingzhou saw that she was about to fall asleep. Nuanyuan, Nuanyuan. After calling out twice and seeing no response from Gunwon, Chun Qingzhou pulled over to the side of the car, carried Gunwon to the bed in the back to sleep, and cover her with a quilt. Don't go. Gunwon grabbed Chun Qingzhou's hand. Chun Qingzhou kissed her forehead lovingly, then lay down on the bed and decided to sleep with her for a while. Wang Gang and his team also arrived at the mall and reached an agreement with the security team to launch together. The security team had 3 aliens and Wang Gang and his team had 2 aliens. They replenished the supplies and prepared to launch again the next day. Gunwon slept very deeply, and when she woke up, she found herself nestled in Chun Qingzhou's arms. She blushed slightly and moved slightly. Chun Qingzhou woke up instantly. Seeing Gunwon awake, his eyes were full of tenderness. Did you sleep well? Gunwon whispered. Yes. On the other side, Wang Gang and others arranged night guards in the mall. One of the aliens sensed some unusual movements around him and whispered to everyone to be careful. It turned out that a group of zombies were attracted by the smell of food in the mall. The security team and Wang Gang quickly organized a defense, and the 2 aliens joined forces to release a powerful energy barrier to temporarily block the zombie swarm. But the zombies gathered more and more, and the barrier was crumbling. At this time, Chun Qingzhou also sensed the zombies. That mall is now surrounded by zombies. What's going on? There's also a pretty powerful zombie that actually has a psychic abnormality. Interesting. Are you going to come over? Okay, just wait for me in the car for a while. Chun Qingzhou started the car and drove to the mall. Chun Qingzhou used the energy-type mutant to rush directly to the densest part of the zombie group, activated the lightning mutant, and punched a hole, run upstairs. Everyone evacuated to higher places in the mall, hoping to find a more advantageous position to resist the zombies' attacks. At this moment, the psychic zombies started a mental abnormality, and everyone was controlled and stood there in a daze. Damn it, Chun Qingzhou growled. It also activated the mental system to control the low-level zombies to attack the high-level zombies. The advanced zombies had no time to take care of these people, so their mental abilities became weaker. At this time, Wang Gang woke up first. What's going on? My mind went blank just now. You are being controlled. That zombie is a high-level zombie with mental abnormalities.
What?
What about them? Wang Gang asked, seeing that these people had not woken up yet. It's okay, I'll wake up in a moment. Seeing all these zombies attacking the advanced zombie, Wang Gang was stunned for a moment. What was going on? No way. Looking back at Chun Qingzhou, his eyes were full of admiration. He was too powerful. He had 2 kinds of supernatural powers. In addition to lightning, he also had mental supernatural power, which was so awesome. At this time, the others also woke up, all with an incredible look on their faces. Everyone, run upstairs. Hearing Chun Qingzhou's voice, everyone retreated upstairs together. The advanced zombies dealt with these zombies and caught up with Chun Qingzhou and the others. Brother Chen, that zombie is catching up with us. What should we do? Do you think there are any Earth-related monsters? Chun Qingzhou asked the others. It's me. There's an Earth-type person in the security team. Okay, then you build 2 Earth walls here. Chun Qingzhou instructed. Brother Chen, what are you going to do? Wang Gang asked puzzledly. You'll know in a moment. When the zombie was about to reach it, suddenly 4 Earth walls appeared in front of it and surrounded it. When it was wondering, Chun Qingzhou activated the lightning anomaly and hit the zombie. He smelled a burning smell and heard the sound of something heavy falling. The Earth wall collapsed, revealing the dark zombie. Everyone was stunned, and that solved the problem. Everyone had great respect for Chun Qingzhou. He was so awesome, and that purple lightning fireball was so cool. Chun Qingzhou stepped forward and chopped off the zombie's head with a knife, and another red crystal appeared. At this time, everyone reacted and went outside to pick up crystals. Seeing that all the zombies were dead, Gunwon got out of the car. She immediately attracted everyone's attention. Who is this? She is so beautiful. Gunwan was wearing a sports outfit today with a high ponytail, looking youthful. Seeing Chen Qingzhou coming, he ran over happily. Are you okay? It's solved. He asked Chen Qingzhou with concern, holding his arm. Yeah, it's okay. The woman of the security captain saw that the security captain was so stunned by how he looked at Gunwan that he almost drooled. She stamped her feet in anger. She was jealous. In the apocalypse, everyone was disheveled, so why was she so clean and had such a powerful boyfriend? She even saw how Chen Qingzhou easily defeated the high-level zombie just now. Humph, why? The security captain's woman began to feel hatred in her heart. She secretly picked up a sharp stone and hid it behind her. While everyone was not paying attention, he rushed towards Gunwan. Gunwan sensed that danger was approaching, but it was too late to dodge. At this critical moment, Chen Qingzhou violently pulled Gunwan behind him, and the stone scratched his arm. You're crazy. The security captain scolded his woman upon seeing this. I just can't stand her, the woman screamed hysterically. Chen Qingzhou looked at her with cold eyes. If you dare to hurt her again, don't blame me for being rude. Everyone accused the woman of being too crazy. The woman was isolated by everyone, and although she was unwilling, she had to give up. How is it? Qingzhou, you are injured. Let's go to the car, and I will bandage you. Gunwan pulled Chen Qingzhou into the car. Afterwards, Wang Gang and the security team reorganized the supplies and went back to the building to rest. Does it hurt? There are really all kinds of people. Gunwan took the first aid kit to disinfect and bandage Chen Qingzhou. The stone must have impurities, so she had to get some stream water to wash his wound. Wait a moment. She went to get a basin and touched the stream water with her finger, and it fell into the basin. Chen Qingzhou looked at this scene and felt that he had picked up a treasure. Gunwan was such a great person. Clean the wound, disinfect, apply medicine, and bandage it all in one go. Gunwan turned around and ran to pour water, when suddenly, a ding sound came. Master, congratulations on upgrading 066. You can start tending the orchard now. Now I can eat fruit. That's great. Qingzhou, my space has been upgraded, and the orchard can be used. Gunwan said excitedly. Your space monster can be upgraded. Gunwan slapped her forehead. She seemed to have not told Chen Qingzhou what was going on with her space. He always thought that space was something different. Haha, let me tell you something. My space is not actually an alien space. It is a jade bracelet system. System? Yes, as long as I stock up more, I will upgrade. Gunwan didn't say anything about what she wanted to do with Chen Qingzhou to replenish the stock. Upgrading can unlock more, isn't it amazing? It's amazing, and it's so beautiful. We will have endless supplies in the future. Well, you can say that, and the quality of space products is very high. Then I will rely on Madam to feed me from now on. Chen Qingzhou hugged Gunwan from behind. Why, you want to be a freeloader? Well, no. I just want to eat my wife's soft rice. You. Madam, will you give me something to eat? Chen Qingzhou rubbed his head on Gunwan's shoulder. Okay, I'll let you eat it. Come on, get up. It's so itchy. Chapter 16 Gunwan has a stomachache. They stayed here for 2 days and then continued on their journey. They originally thought they could reach Haiqing in a week, but it took them more than a month to get there. Life in the end times is indeed difficult. Zhou Shui was almost 3 months pregnant. On the way that day, Zhou Shui used the B ultrasound machine to check herself. She had learned a lot about how to do B ultrasound and how to read images. Zhou Shui sat on a chair with the ultrasound machine in front of her. She lifted her clothes, put some coupling agent on the probe, and then put it on her belly. At first, she was not skilled and did not find the right position. After a few seconds, she found the gestational sac. The 3 small bubbles looked like tadpoles and had begun to take shape as a human. This is the baby. Chen Qingzhou came back from outside and heard Gunwan's words and walked over. Did you see the baby? Now that you're back, come and see these 3 little ones. Chen Qingzhou looked at the 3 babies squirming in Gunwan's belly on the screen and smiled happily. He took the probe from Gun and opened the sound. He detected the baby's heartbeat, like a small car, and they both laughed. After putting away the machine, Chun Qingzhou helped Gun to the bed to rest. Touching her flat belly, it's hard to imagine there are 3 babies inside. Thank you, Gun, for being willing to give me your baby. What are you doing? I want to thank you. I did something wrong in my last life, and you are willing to forgive me. Gun snuggled in Chun Qingzhou's arms. I was also wrong in my previous life. I shouldn't have left without saying goodbye, causing you to suffer so much afterwards. It's not your fault. I didn't know how to cherish such a good man like you in my previous life. God punished me. Now it's okay. We should be happy together. Gun put her body on Chun Qingzhou's body. Well, you sleep a little longer, I'll go drive, and we'll get some more miles before dark. Yeah, okay. Gun took a rest, and Chun Qingzhou continued driving on his way. Suddenly, there was a loud bang above his head, and the car made a sharp turn and rushed towards the body next to it. Chun Qingzhou was so anxious that he gripped the steering wheel tightly and made a turn, then stepped on the brake to stop the car. Gun was awakened by the loud noise, and then the car made a sharp turn, causing inertia to throw Gun onto the bed. She held her stomach tightly to prevent it from hitting the ground, but her stomach still hurt. Chun Qingzhou stopped the car, turned around and saw Gun falling, and hurried to help her up. Yuan, how are you? Gun held her stomach with a look of pain on her face. My stomach hurts a little, help me up first. Chun Qingzhou picked up Gun and put her on the bed. He looked at her in pain, sweating and anxious. It's okay. Maybe I had a miscarriage. I'll be fine after I calm down. Gun took a cup of stream water and drank some, and felt much better. Seeing that Gun was fine, Chun Qingzhou went to check what the clanging sound was just now. It turned out that a rock fell from the sky and hit the roof of the car. Because there was a solar panel on the roof, Chun Qingzhou was afraid that it would be damaged, so he covered the solar panel with 3 layers of explosion-proof glass. This would not affect the absorption of solar energy and could protect the solar panel. Who knew that such an accident would occur and the rock did not damage the car? How about it? A rock fell and hit the roof of the car, but it's okay. The roof has explosion-proof glass, so it didn't break. It just made you fall. I'm sorry I didn't see the rock fall. It's okay. Don't blame yourself. The babies are fine, and I'm feeling much better now too. Chun Qingzhou breathed a sigh of relief, restarted the car, and continued moving forward. However, not long after driving, a huge crack appeared on the road ahead, with only a tiny bit of it connected, and the car couldn't pass through, as if the ground was torn apart by a hard rock. Chun Qingzhou had no choice but to stop the car, and the two decided to explore on foot. After unloading the car, Gun put it into the space. Hold me tight, we should be able to walk over there. Chun Qingzhou picked up Gun and walked carefully from the spot between her legs. As soon as they passed by, they heard a snap and the thread broke. That was close. Gun patted his chest. There was dead silence all around, with only the sound of the wind whistling past. Suddenly, a group of mutant rats came running over. They were huge with flashing red eyes. Chun Qingzhou quickly drew the long sword from his waist and protected Gun behind him. He was agile and could kill several mutant rats every time he swung his sword. He usually chopped them while using his lightning ability. He didn't know why the rats' mental abilities couldn't control them, but there were too many rats and he gradually found it difficult. It seemed that the supernatural energy was about to be exhausted. Gun also endured the discomfort in her abdomen and took an electric baton to help resist. At this moment, a larger mutant rat king appeared and pounced towards Gun. At the critical moment, a laser shot and hit the rat king. It turned out to be a team of survivors passing by to rescue him. They had advanced weapons and equipment, and they worked together to repel the mutant rats. Gun was so scared that she collapsed on the ground, holding her stomach and gasping for breath. Are you okay, Yuan? Chun Qingzhou picked up Yuan and asked anxiously. It's okay. Chun Qingzhou looked up at the people walking towards them and said, Thank you for saving my wife just now. You're welcome. I asked because I was just passing by here. You guys are going over there. We just came from there, and the road was blocked. What? There's no way to get there. What should we do? Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Xia Tian, and I used to work in electronic wafers. They are my colleagues, and we wanted to go over and see them. We went there, but we didn't expect to encounter the end of the world. Chen Qingzhou, this is my wife Gunwan. Chen Qingzhou shook hands with Xia Tian. Yes, things are unpredictable. Who could have thought that the end would come? Where are you going? Xia Tian asked. We are going to Haiqing. We are both students. My family is from Haiqing. I heard during the broadcast a few days ago that a survivor base has been built in Haiqing. Are you going there? Right. Then, let's go together. Since we can't go back home, let's go to Haiqing together. Xia Tian turned around and asked his two companions. Okay, I'll listen to Xia Gong. Me too. Then let's go to Haiqing together. Xia Tian said to Chen Qingzhou. After this thrilling experience, Chen Qingzhou became more cautious and decided to form a team, taking Gunwan and the three of them to Haiqing, hoping that there would be a safer environment there to welcome the upcoming new life. Chapter 17: Encountering a Snowstorm. We couldn't retreat, and there wasn't a good place to rest nearby. There was a risk of falling rocks at any time, so it was better to leave early. After thinking it over, the few of us decided to move forward. Chen Qingzhou and Gunwan said that their car was a little further back and they would go get it first, and asked them to wait there for a while. How is it? Is your stomach still hurting? Chen Qingzhou supported Gunwan and walked back. It's okay. It doesn't hurt anymore. I just took a pill to preserve the pregnancy. The two of them walked around a bend, and Gunwan took the car out of the space. I was really amazed when I saw their cars in the summer. Oh my god, your car is so cool. Xia Tian touched this and looked at that. Chen Qingzhou rolled down the car window and said, Let's go. I'll lead the way. Here's some food for you. As soon as Chen Qingzhou got out of the car, he asked Gunwan to pack a bag of food for Xia Tian and the other three. This way, Chen Qingzhou and the others wouldn't have to hide when eating in the future. Thank you so much. By the way, I'm 29 now. How old are you? I heard from you that you are still college students, younger than me. From now on, I will call you Brother Qingzhou. Xia Tian was so grateful to Chen Qingzhou. Food was the most scarce thing in the world, but he actually gave us so much food. Okay, then I'll call you Brother Tian. What do they call you? My name is Sun Zhe. You can call me brother. A tall and thin man behind Xia Tian said. My name is Lu Qingshan. I'm 27. A dark and fat young man scratched his head shyly. Brother Wang, Brother Shan. My name is Chen Qingzhou. I'm 22 years old, and my wife Gunwan is 22 years old here. We are both college students. Our current destination is Haiqing, which is where my family is from, and we will have a place to stay there. Chen Qingzhou said, and Gunwan also greeted them. Okay, you lead the way and we'll follow. The three of us are all superpowered. I'm an ice-type user, and the other two are both water-type users. Don't worry, we can protect you when the time comes. I also have the ability to use lightning. Let's not get too close. There are a lot of zombies on this road, but we are close to the mountain and rocks may fall at any time. Okay, let's go. Xia Tian and the other two got into their off-road vehicle. The convoy started slowly and moved forward along the rugged road. Chen Qingzhou drove, while observing his surroundings vigilantly. Suddenly, a group of zombies jumped out from the roadside and pounced towards the vehicle with their fangs and claws bared. Hold on tight. Chen Qingzhou shouted, stepped on the accelerator and rushed forward, releasing his lightning power at the same time, and several lightning bolts struck the group of zombies. On Xia Tian's side, Xia Tian waved his hands and ice spikes shot out from his hands, freezing the approaching zombies. Sun Zhe and Lu Qingshan manipulated their physical abilities to build physical walls to block the zombies attacking from the side. Gunwan nervously grabbed the handrail, but did not forget to throw out a few homemade explosives from the car window. With a few bangs, the zombies were blown to pieces. After dealing with this group of zombies, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But not long after driving, there was a huge roar coming from the front, and then there was a landslide with a lot of rocks rolling down. Back up quickly, Chun Qingzhou shouted hurriedly. Everyone quickly backed up to avoid the accident, and luckily nothing happened. After this ordeal, everyone became more aware that the journey through life is full of unknown dangers and that they must always remain vigilant. It's over. We can't go this road today. Let's find a place to rest first. Chun Qingzhou got out of the car and saw that the landslide was quite serious. Let's go to the back. I see that platform is empty and more suitable for parking and resting. The road behind is blocked and there is a landslide in front, so we won't meet other people here. Xia Tian looked around and said, Okay. Several people stopped at the platform to rest and wait until dawn to talk about it. But what they never expected was that a snowstorm broke out at night. Chun Qingzhou was sleeping when he felt Gu Nuan still trembling in his arms, and he woke up with a start. What's going on? It's so cold. I pulled the quilt over Gu Nuan, walked to the front, opened the window shade, and looked out. Oh my God, it was snowing. I was wondering why it was so cold. Because the two cars were close to each other, Chun Qingzhou saw that Xia Tian and the other three were huddled together and shivering. Unfortunately, they had no warm clothes. Chun Qingzhou gently woke Gu Nuan up. Nuan 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 Nuan. What's wrong, Qingzhou? Gu Nuan rubbed his eyes and quickly pulled the quilt tight around him. Why is it so cold? It's snowing out there. We need to get some supplies to keep them warm, and they also need to prepare some for the summer. Oh, then hurry up. Gu Nuan took out a thick quilt, a hand warmer, an electric heater, a small generator, cotton clothes and shoes, and some hot water from the space. Chun Qingzhou got out of the car with these and knocked on Xia Tian's car window. Brother Tian, don't sleep. It's snowing outside, and I'm here to bring you supplies. Xia Tian heard someone calling him in a daze. He woke up and opened the car door tremblingly. Light boat. Hurry up and put on his cotton-padded clothes, put the hand warmer in his hands, and put the cotton-padded clothes on him. Brother Shan, Brother Lu, wake up too. Sun Zhe and Lu Qingshan also woke up trembling, their teeth chattering from the cold. He quickly put cotton clothes on them and stuffed hand warmers in them, then turned on the generator, plugged in the electric heater, and poured warm water for the three people. Gu Nuan mixed space stream water in the water, and the three people felt better after drinking it. Qingzhou, you saved the three of our lives. From now on, we will listen to you, Xia Tian said, holding Chun Qingzhou's hand. I'm glad you're all okay. The snow won't stop falling for a while, so we can't leave. I thought about it and decided to set up a tent behind the car. It will be warmer this way. Okay. Do you have a tent? Xia Tian and the others also agreed, but where could they find a tent? I'll go back to the car to get it. We found a few tents in the town behind. Chun Qingzhou went to the car to get the tent, and several people set up the tent together. The four corners were fixed with several large stones to ensure that they could not be blown away by the wind. Okay, now you can rest assured. If you have anything to do, ring the bell. Chun Qingzhou tied the two bells to the window between the two tents. Okay, you go and have a rest too. Xia Tian was already very grateful to Chun Qingzhou. Without him, the three of them would not be able to stay here. Chun Qingzhou returned to the car and delivered another bottle of oil for the generator to Xia Tian and the others. Back in the car again, Gu Nuan found a set of cotton pajamas for him and said, Change. Chun Qingzhou looked at himself covered in snow, took off his coat, then his vest and short-sleeved shirt to reveal his solid chest and 8-pack abs. Hey you, Gu Nuan quickly covered her glasses. Haha, you've seen my body everywhere and you're still shy. You. Gu Nuan pulled the quilt over her head. True love. Chun Qingzhou quickly changed his clothes, got out of bed and pulled back the quilt. Come out quickly, you can't hold it in any longer. Gu Nuan looked at Chun Qingzhou with a pout. Haha, my wife is so lovely. Chun Qingzhou hugged Gu Nuan. This snow won't stop falling anytime soon. We'll have to stay here for a while. It's okay. We have enough supplies anyway. Gu Nuan lay on Chun Qingzhou's chest, playing with his pajamas buttons. Oh, by the way, I haven't asked you yet. Why did Xia Tian and the others form a team when you didn't agree to form a team before? Chen Qingzhou looked at Gunwan and smiled. Because they were also my subordinates in my previous life, and Xia Tian once saved my life. I didn't expect to meet them so early in this life. Chen Qingzhou looked ahead as if he was lost in memories. I thought you had different attitudes towards the three of them. So that's what's going on. In summer, the three of them huddled in the car to keep warm. Brother Tian, today we are all grateful to Brother Qingzhou. We must repay him in the future. Lu Qingshan was a straightforward person and said whatever he thought. Yes, I will be very grateful to you. Chapter 18. It's finally sunny. The blizzard lasted for 2 days. When Chen Qingzhou woke up that morning, he didn't hear the whistling cold wind outside the window, so he stretched out his mental power to check, and sure enough, the snow had stopped. Looking at Gunwan sleeping soundly in his arms, Chen Qingzhou felt warm in his heart. This is what others call a wife, children, and a warm bed. In his previous life, he returned to his home in Haicheng after leaving school. After his grandfather became seriously ill, he took over the family business. It seemed so prosperous, but only he knew that he could not let go of Gunwan. Later, after experiencing the end of the world, he once asked people to inquire about Gunwan's news everywhere, but before he heard any news about her, he was framed. This life is so good. I was reborn, Gunwan Xiao was reborn, and they also had babies. There were no regrets from the previous life. Chen Qingzhou touched Gunwan's belly gently. These guys grew very fast, and Gunwan's belly was a little bulging. After covering Gunwan with a blanket, Chen Qingzhou got up and went outside to check the situation. Qingzhou, you're awake. Xia Tian just opened the door of the tent and saw Chen Qingzhou outside. Yeah, look how much snow it has fallen. Chen Qingzhou stepped down, and the snow was up to his legs, which showed that it was snowing heavily. With so much snow, we may have to wait 2 days before we can set out. We can open the road after the snow melts, Xia Tian said. Well, how's it going? Is there enough food? Enough. Okay, then you guys have a good rest. With that, Chen Qingzhou returned to the tent and got in the car. Well, you're back. Is it snowing outside? Gunwan woke up, but didn't get out of bed. It was too cold, and she didn't want to go out. Yeah, it's snowing so hard that it's almost up to my legs. It's sunny today, and if the snow melts, it will probably take another 2 days before we can set off. Chen Qingzhou embraced Gunwan. Why don't you sleep a little longer? Gunwan lay in Chen Qingzhou's arms, her hands restlessly touching his chest, causing Chen Qingzhou to swallow his saliva and say in a hoarse voice, Nuan Nuan, don't move. Gunwan wanted to tease him. The touch was so good, so she sat up straight and lifted Chen Qingzhou's lower body with her fingers. Handsome guy, I'm moving around. What can you do about it? She lowered her head and kissed him on the lips. How could Chen Qingzhou bear this? As someone who had already had sex before, he had to be considerate of Gunwan's stomach recently and only kissed her at most. Chen Qingzhou suddenly flipped over Gunwan, supported himself with his hands, looked at Gunwan's pink lips, and swallowed a mouthful of water. Seeing this, how could Gunwan not know what was wrong with Chen Qingzhou? She deliberately looked at him with ambiguous eyes, turned his head, and kissed him. To be honest, I have been craving for this since I became pregnant. Now that the first 3 months are over, I can do some proper exercise. Chen Qingzhou was immediately aroused and began to attack with a domineering and aggressive kiss. Gunwan suddenly softened. Chen Qingzhou slowly took off their clothes. Considering that Gunwan was still pregnant, Chen Qingzhou was very careful throughout the process. When everything was over, Gunwan lay softly in Chen Qingzhou's arms, gasping for breath. She was really looking for trouble. The last time she experienced this, she was drunk and Chen Qingzhou took drugs, so she couldn't remember the feeling clearly. This time she remembered every detail. She didn't expect this guy to be so domineering in this regard. Fortunately, this RV has been modified and the sunshade is soundproof. Otherwise my voice just now would have been so embarrassing. Wake up, I'm hungry. Okay. Gunwan got up and put on her clothes. She looked down and saw the marks on her body, and her face blushed with shame. Chen Qingzhou looked at her feminine posture and laughed. Wife, are you satisfied with your performance just now? Gunwan picked up the pillow and threw it at Chen Qingzhou. Chen Qingzhou dodged with a jump. Looking at Chen Qingzhou's long legs and abdominal muscles, Gunwan smiled. This excellent man was hers. After getting dressed, Gunwan took out a chicken to make soup from the space, thought about it for a while, and put it back into the space to stew it, so as to save time. She also took out some vegetables to stir-fry, and soon breakfast was ready. Drinking chicken soup, eating pancakes, and adding vegetables is delicious. Chapter 19, opening the third floor of the space villa. How are we going to clean up the fallen rocks if the snow stops? Gunwan asked Chen Qingzhou while eating. There's no other way but to clean it up manually. When the time comes, I'll use my supernatural powers to break all the rocks into pieces and throw them aside. I just need to clear a path for cars to pass through. Oh, it would be nice if there were a tool cart. Next time I see a tool cart, I'll put a few in my space. Haha, even if you have a car, you can't take it out. If you take one out of thin air, how are you going to explain it to Xia Tian and the others? Chen Qingzhou smiled dotingly. That's right. Gunwan suddenly realized, that's okay. I'll stockpile them and use them later. Besides, with several cars, maybe the space can be upgraded. Just thinking about what he and Chen Qingzhou did just now, 066 in the space was obviously full of energy, and the entity could almost be seen. The time he could stay in the space was also extended. It was great. 066 in that case, Master, you still have to work harder. After dinner, there was nothing to do. It was too cold today after the snow melted, and Chen Qingzhou didn't want to go out. So the two of them went to bed again. Nothing happened at first. Chen Qingzhou told stories to the babies, and Gunwan closed her eyes. In fact, she was in her own space. Today's love affair made her body sticky, so she had to take a bath. Gunwan jumped directly into the stream and started bathing. This was a stream she had set aside specifically for bathing. The water was magical. As soon as she entered, Gunwan felt all her fatigue was gone, and she was left with refreshment. After taking a bath, she felt her skin was more hydrated, smooth, and delicate, her body was full of energy, and her belly was warm. It seemed that the babies also benefited from it. After leaving the space, Gunwan felt so happy listening to Chen Qingzhou telling stories. Woke up. I didn't sleep. I went to the space to take a shower. Chen Qingzhou lowered his head and smelled the fragrance on her body, and thought of their ambiguous scene in the morning. Chen Qingzhou's breathing became heavy. He quickly sat up straight and took a deep breath to calm himself down. Gunwan listened to his heavy breathing, raised her head, and gave him a kiss. Stop it. You're still pregnant. We have to. Before she could even utter the word moderation, she was blocked by Gunwan's tongue. Gunwan took the lead in this kiss, and Chen Qingzhou enjoyed her attack throughout the whole process. After the kiss, Gunwan lay softly on Chen Qingzhou to breathe, still restlessly drawing circles on his chest. Wife, I want. Chen Qingzhou's voice was hoarse, and he looked at Gunwan with eyes full of desire. Gunwan nodded, but it was more than an hour later before she got out of bed. Gunwan found that her body was extremely strong after being baptized in the stream water, and she was pregnant with 3 babies. After they tossed her around twice, she only felt a little tired, without any other discomfort. Chen Qingzhou couldn't believe it. His ability bar was almost full. He needed to upgrade again. After killing Gunwan, his energy was almost full. Looking at Gunwan, Chen Qingzhou smiled. Is this the cauldron mentioned in the novel? Dual cultivation can promote the increase of strength. What a treasure he has picked up. Chen Qingzhou lowered his head and placed a kiss on Gunwan's head. Wife, I love you. He put his hand on Gunwan's belly. How are you? Are you feeling well? Are they? I'm fine, they're fine too. They're not feeling unwell, and I love you too. Gunwan nestled in Chen Qingzhou's arms. She was so happy that Chen Qingzhou loved her in this life. Master, congratulations on upgrading your space and unlocking the 3rd floor of the villa. At this time, the voice of 066 sounded in Gunwan's mind. It's upgraded again. What's on the 3rd floor? There are a total of 3 rooms on the 3rd floor. Each room has different things. There is a gym, a medical room, a cloakroom, and a library. Just listening to it made Gunwan excited. There were so many things. Gunwan couldn't wait to check it out. There were all kinds of equipment in the gym, medicines and beds in the infirmary, and some first aid instruments. The cloakroom was a little empty, but it didn't matter. Gunwan had hoarded so many clothes, bags and jewelry, and now she had a place to put them. When she opened the study, Gunwan was stunned. The wall-to-ceiling bookshelves were full of books. There was a table in the middle with a few ornaments on the table. They were antique and she liked them. Gunwan couldn't wait to tell Chen Qingzhou about the space upgrade and pulled him to see a few rooms in the space. Chen Qingzhou was also surprised. Gunwan's space was too magical. If others knew about it, Gunwan would become the prey of the family. It also made him more worried, and he had to make himself stronger and protect Gunwan well. Chapter 20 Free Labor. Does Gunwan know what Chen Qingzhou is thinking? But now she was looking at the mature vegetable plots and the fruits in the orchard, and had an idea. Now that Chen Qingzhou was here, she might as well get to work. I have fed him today, so he has to do more work. Hubby, please harvest all the vegetables and fruits. I think they are ripe. Harvest them and plant something else. Okay. Chen Qingzhou took the tools and went to the vegetable garden. He first dug up all the potatoes and harvested 3 large baskets. Then he dug up the greens, tomatoes, peppers, pumpkins, and cucumbers. After harvesting, he loosened the soil. I went to the orchard to pick fruit again, 2 baskets each of apples and peaches. Chen Qingzhou moved the items 1 basket at a time into the room on the 2nd floor of the villa, where Gunwan had specially built 2 warehouses. You've worked hard. Drink some water. Gunwan handed Chen Qingzhou a bottle of water and wiped the sweat off his face. Thank you for your hard work. It's a pleasure to serve you, madam. Chen Qingzhou emphasized the word serve. Well, you can plant these seeds. Gunwan gave Chen Qingzhou eggplant, cabbage, and sunflower seeds. Suddenly, she wanted to make eggplant and melon seeds. After finishing her work and leaving the space, she saw that it was almost dark, so Gunwan hurried to cook. Today she had beef brisket stewed with tomatoes, stir-fried meat with mushrooms, and some cold dishes, which were delicious when eaten with rice. Gunwan made peach juice with the peaches she picked today. It was really delicious, so she invited Chen Qingzhou to eat. After taking a bite of the tomato-stewed beef brisket, Chen Qingzhou praised it highly. Yuan, your cooking skills have improved again. It's so delicious. I like you eat more. Gunwan picked up another piece of beef for Chen Qingzhou. Who doesn't like to be praised, especially by their lover? Gunwan smiled happily. Perhaps to make up for the regrets of her previous life, Gunwan was extra gentle to Chen Qingzhou. She had let him down in her previous life, and she wanted to make it up to him in this life. After dinner, they watched a movie together and then took a rest. The next day, Chen Qingzhou saw that the snow had almost melted, so he called Xia Xiao and the other 2 to go and clean up the rocks together. When we got there, we found that there were a lot of rocks, but only a huge one was easy to handle. Chen Qingzhou thought about it and decided to find another way to deal with the stone as he did with the zombies. He built a wall of earth around the stone and then used his lightning power to break the stone into pieces. Chen Qingzhou and the other 2 expressed their ideas, and Sun Ziqing said, "Let me do it." He used his supernatural power to form a circle around the stone. Chen Qingzhou climbed to a higher place and used his lightning power to strike down. With a loud bang, the wall collapsed and the stone shattered. Great. Xia Xiao and the others now admired Chen Qingzhou. Although he was young, he was very smart. How did they come up with this idea? Just now, they were all worried when they saw such a big stone, but Chen Qingzhou solved it in one go. The 2 men started throwing stones manually, and just when they were working hard, they suddenly heard a low roar. Everyone's face changed as they realized that a mutant creature might be approaching. Chen Qingzhou quickly stood in front to stand guard, and the others also stopped what they were doing and picked up their weapons. A huge mutant bear walked out slowly, its eyes gleaming with ferocity. Chen Qingzhou whispered, "Everyone, be careful. This mutant bear is easy to deal with." After that, he took the lead in launching an attack, and a bolt of lightning struck the mutant bear. The mutant bear dodged nimbly and pounced towards Xia. Xia Xiao was terrified. At this critical moment, Sun Ziqing built a mud wall to block the attack of the mutant bear. Gunwan saw this in the car and got out quickly. Get out of the way. She took out a homemade incendiary bomb and threw it at the mutant bear. The flames produced by the explosion temporarily stopped the mutant bear. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Chen Qingzhou gathered all his strength and launched the strongest lightning strike, hitting the mutant bear's head. The mutant bear shook its body and finally fell down with a bang. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, glad that they had escaped. After this incident, they understood more clearly that danger is everywhere in this doomsday, and they must constantly improve their strength in order to survive better. Chapter 21. Rockfall cleared. The mutant bear was dealt with, and everyone began to clear the fallen rocks. The mutant bear was a very dangerous creature here, so scary that the rocks were almost cleared away and enough for a car to pass through. Gunwan watched everyone busy and went back to the car to make juice for everyone. She had harvested so many fruits yesterday. She took out apples and carrots to make juice and also prepared fried dumplings and bread slices. She took out a folding table and stools from the space and placed them in front of the car. Take a break and come and eat something. Gunwan shouted to Chen Qingzhou and the others. Here we are. Chen Qingzhou shouted. Let's go over and take a rest. After washing their faces, several people sat down. Wow, there are so many delicious foods. They look so delicious. Thank you for your hard work, sister-in-law. Lu Qing said as he looked at the food on the table. Gunwan smiled and said, Everyone has worked hard, let's eat. Just as everyone started to eat, a low roar came from the surroundings. Everyone instantly became alert and put down their food and picked up their weapons. I saw a huge mutant lizard slowly crawling over, and the scales on its body shone with a metallic luster. Why are you still here with this guy? Chen Qingzhou frowned. Gunwan moved, took out some herbs with strong smell from the space, and threw them into the distance. After smelling the scent, the mutant lizard hesitated for a moment, then changed direction and crawled towards the herbs. Go! Gunwan shouted. Everyone quickly packed up and got into the car. After the car started, Gunwan breathed a sigh of relief. Lu Qing sighed. Thanks to my brother and sister-in-law's wit, otherwise we would have to fight another hard battle. Gunwan said to Chen Qingzhou, It's better to stay small. This area is more dangerous than we thought. Chen Qingzhou held Gunwan's hand and said, No matter what, as long as we are together, we will be able to deal with any difficulties. Well, as long as you are here, I am not afraid of anything. The two cars passed the area where the rocks had fallen and drove forward. Gunwan took out the unfinished food and took a bite for herself and Chen Qingzhou. We have to leave this place quickly. There are too many dangers. If you are tired, go to the back and rest. Yes, I know. Several people on Xia Zhao's side were still in shock. Brother Xiao, that was too scary just now. How come that thing mutated so big? These mutated animals are scarier than zombies. Lu Qingxiao patted his chest. Yeah, it was so scary. Fortunately, my sister-in-law helped me. You said that we didn't encounter so many mutant animals when we walked this road. It seems that the snow drove them out of the country. Sun Zhe said. I suppose so. Brother, let's sleep for a while, and then it'll be your turn. Okay, you two take a rest first. Gunwan sat in the passenger seat for a while and then went to the back to rest. The 3 babies in her belly were taking too much energy for her, and she got tired easily. After the vehicle drove for some distance, the road ahead suddenly collapsed. Chen Qingzhou braked suddenly, and everyone got out of the car to check. There was a foul smell all around, as if some huge danger was lurking. This place is quite weird. Chen Qingzhou released his spiritual thread to check, but found nothing. How strange. Brother Qingzhou, how is it? This place should be full of corpses, but I checked it out and didn't feel any. What's going on? As he spoke, the ground suddenly shook. Chen Qingzhou hugged Gunwan tightly. What's going on? After shaking, it calmed down. Is it an earthquake? Gunwan asked doubtfully. Yes, I can. However, when they thought everything was back to normal, a huge crack suddenly appeared in the ground, and countless black tentacles stretched out from it. What kind of monster is this? Everyone was terrified. Chen Qingzhou protected Gunwan behind him, holding the long sword tightly in his hand. At this time, a huge spherical object emerged from the tentacles. It was covered with eyes and looked extremely terrifying. No matter what it is, let's go together. Lu Qingxiao shouted and rushed towards the monster first. Seeing this, others followed suit. But those tentacles were extremely tough, and only shallow marks could be left after being cut. Rays of light shot out from the monster's eyes, corroding large pits wherever it touched. Gunwan was quick-witted and took out a special crystal from the space, which could interfere with energy fluctuations. She pointed the crystal at the monster, which was affected, and its movements became much slower. Chen Qingzhou seized the opportunity, gathered all his strength, and controlled the lightning ability to hit the monster. With a scream, the monster fell down. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, and after a brief rest, they moved again to fill the collapsed area, then got in the car and drove forward cautiously, hoping to get away from this area full of unknown dangers as soon as possible. Chapter 22: Breaking Out of the Mountains. The next day, Chen Qingzhou and his group finally rushed out of this dangerous mountain. There were relatively more zombies if they didn't go into the mountains. Gunwan woke up in a daze, rubbed her eyes, and looked around but couldn't find Chen Qingzhou. She opened the curtain in front of the bed and saw Chen Qingzhou asleep in the driver's seat. He was too tired after driving all night without stopping. Gunwan picked up the blanket and walked to the cab, where she saw Teacher Chen with his arms folded across his chest, his head tilted to one side, and his lips chapped. He didn't even drink a sip of water. Gunwan began to feel sorry for Chen Qingzhou and gently covered him with a blanket. "Well, you're awake," Chen Qingzhou said in a hoarse voice when he saw Gunwan. "Go sleep on the bed in the back." Gunwan touched Chen Qingzhou's face. "It's dawn. Let's not sleep anymore. Let's get out of here quickly. I'm going to wash up first." Chen Qingzhou went to wash up. Gunwan took out steamed dumplings and soy milk from the space and brought Chen Qingzhou a glass of stream water. "Come and eat something before you drive."
"Yeah."
Chen Qingzhou kissed Gunwan's forehead and touched her belly. "How's the baby today?" "Well, very good."
"Come on and eat."
"I'll go wash up." Gunwan went to wash up. Chen Qingzhou finished his meal in a few bites and drank the stream water. He felt that all his fatigue disappeared. This thing was really magical. I got off the car and talked to Xia Xiao about our departure for a while. Not long after they set out, they encountered zombies, a total of 6. Chen Qingzhou got out of the car and Gunwan grabbed him and took out 3 bombs from the space and gave them to him. "Take them just in case." "It's okay. Don't get off the car." After Chen Qingzhou gave instructions, Gunwan put the bomb in her pocket and got out of the car. Xia Xiao and the other 3 also got out of the car. When the zombies smelled human scent, they pounced on them. Chen Qingzhou activated his lightning ability and shot out 3 lightning bolts. When the zombies were about to come to him, Xia Xiao waved his hand, and the zombies were frozen. Xia Xiao jumped back a step and pinched the frozen zombies with his bare hands, and the frozen zombies were directly crushed. The scene was a bit disgusting. So disgusting. Lu Qingshan quickly jumped away and checked whether there was any blood splattered on himself. The few zombies were not high-level zombies and were quickly dealt with. Go dig out the crystals in the zombies' heads. Absorbing that thing can enhance your superpowers, Chen Qingzhou said to Xia and the others. If he guessed correctly, except for Xia, whose ability was level 1, the other 2 were still at the elementary level. This thing has this use. Then we didn't take any of the crystals from the zombies we killed earlier. Wouldn't that be a waste? Sun Ziqing looked regretful. Chen Qingzhou ignored their 3 thoughts and used his mental thread to check around to see if there were any zombies. Then he went back to the car. Solved. Gunwan was preparing lunch and was planning to stew some pork rib soup, so she had to prepare it in advance. Chen Qingzhou washed his hands, hugged Gunwan from behind, and put his head on her shoulder. "What delicious food do you want to make?" How about pork rib soup and pineapple fried rice for lunch? Gunwan looked up at Chen Qingzhou. Okay, just make what you like to eat. I'm not picky about food. These three little ones have big appetites, so you can cook more. Chen Qingzhou touched Gunwan's belly and found that Gunwan's belly was already obviously pregnant. That's right. I feel like I haven't been eating enough lately. The triplets consume too much energy. Gunwan muttered. Yeah, so eat more. I'm going to drive now, and don't let yourself get tired. Take your time. Well, go ahead. Gunwan kissed Chen Qingzhou on the cheek. Chen Qingzhou drove away contentedly, even humming a tune. After Xia and the other two dug up the crystals, they returned to the car. Just as they were about to start the car, they discovered that it had no gas. What should they do? What's wrong, brother? Sun Ziqing asked. It's out of gas. What shall we do? Chen Qingzhou started the car and was about to leave, but seeing that Xia Yu and the others hadn't moved yet, he stopped the car to check. What's wrong, brother? The car is out of gas. What should I do? It's out of gas, it's okay, wait for me. After saying that, Chen Qingzhou went to find Gunwan. What's wrong? Brother and his car are out of gas. Gunwan hurriedly took out gasoline from the space and gave it to Chen Qingzhou. Chen Qingzhou picked it up and went to refuel Xia Xiao and the others. Xia Xiao and the other two were shocked when they saw the oil Chen Qingzhou brought. Where did he put so much gasoline? Their car doesn't look like it can hold such a big barrel of oil. And where did those tents, quilts, generators, and so on in front come from? Chen Qingzhou said he found them in a town, but he didn't believe it. Although Xia Yu didn't believe it, he didn't ask. On the contrary, they are now together, and Chen Qingzhou will not ignore them if something happens. Why are they asking so many questions? We refueled and set off. Chapter 23. Rare Leisure Time. Gunwan was busy making soup and cooking, while Chen Qingzhou was driving and paying attention to the surroundings. Gunwan looked at Chen Qingzhou from time to time. If nothing else, Chen Qingzhou's appearance alone had already deeply attracted her. Those angular cheeks, that delicate jawline, and then down there is the solid chest, a pair of abdominal muscles, the mermaid line, that figure, that touch. Gunwan blushed instantly. Gunwan shook her head and exhaled. What was she thinking? Chen Qingzhou didn't know that Gunwan was thinking about him. He had been using his mental threads to explore the surroundings and noticed that they were resting on the side. Because this place was relatively open, they chose to eat outside. Gunwan took out the folding table and chairs and asked Chen Qingzhou to set them up. Brother Xiao, I remember that this table and chair were thrown on the ground last time. What happened? Lu Qingshan whispered in Xia Zhao's ear. At this time, Chen Qingzhou came out with the dishes and Xia Xiao quickly made a hush gesture. It's time to eat. Gunwan was holding a steamed bun and a bowl in her hands, while Chen Qingzhou was holding a large bowl of pork rib soup with fish-flavored shredded pork. Yes, because there were several men eating, Gunwan fried a large bowl of vegetables and the pork rib soup was also served in a bowl. A pot of steamed buns, a soup and a dish. That's all for today. When Lu Qingshan saw the delicious food, he forgot his doubts and couldn't help swallowing his saliva. Chen Qingzhou asked everyone to sit down and eat. Wow, it smells so good. I've never eaten such a delicious meal in my life. Sun Zhe kept stuffing the steamed buns into his mouth. The steamed buns smelled so good. Xia Xiao held his forehead with his hand. What kind of brothers does he have? It's so embarrassing. Haha, if it's delicious, eat more. Gunwan picked up a piece of food with chopsticks and said to Chen Qingzhou. While eating, Lu Qingshan gave Gunwan a thumbs up and said, Sister-in-law, your cooking skills are amazing. Hee. Gunwan was amused to death by his funny appearance. The meal was a joyful one, and in the end there was not even any soup left. Everyone was very full. It was rare to have such a relaxing time in this world, so several people ate delicious food outdoors and enjoyed the roadside scenery. Gunwan looked at the satisfied expressions of the four men and laughed to death. She conquered them with just one meal. Gunwan stood up to clean the table, and Chen Qingzhou quickly stood up to support her. I'll do it. Let us do it. You two can take a break. Lu Qingshan volunteered to wash the dishes. He couldn't always ask Gunwan and the others to take care of the three men, as the three of them were older than the two of them. And judging from Gunwan's condition, she is pregnant. Let us come. Your sister-in-law must be pregnant. She should get more rest.
Xia also said.
Yes, the triplets are 4 months old. Chun Qingzhou touched Gunwan's belly with a happy look on his face. Oh my, you're awesome, bro. Sun Zhe gave Chun Qingzhou a thumbs up. He was really capable of doing 3 things at once. Sun Zhe is an orphan who grew up in an orphanage. With his own perseverance, he was admitted to university and became a researcher. He had a girlfriend before, but they broke up for various reasons. Now he envies Chun Qingzhou so much. Xia also looked envious. His wife is pregnant, but they have no children. He doesn't know what the family is like now. He probably has no wife at all. His wife is also a scientific researcher. He hopes she can survive. Lu Qingshan was fine. He was a carefree person. He was also an orphan and had no worries. His only regret was that he had not lived in the house he had just bought with a mortgage for a few days. The 3 people cleaned the table and washed the dishes. It was their first time entering Chun Qingzhou's RV, and they were very curious. Look at this, touch that. Qingzhou, your RV is so special. Is it custom-made? Yeah. We were planning to go on a self-driving tour earlier, but we didn't expect it to be destroyed, so I modified it. Chun Qingzhou said casually. Oh, I was wondering why it felt like an armored vehicle. That's good. Go another 100 kilometers to the North City. It's big there. If you find a suitable car, you can change to a spacious one. Yes, if I find another car, I can drive it and transport some supplies, said Lu Qingshan. That's right. Okay, it's still early, let's go. We'll spend the night in North City tonight. After Chun Qingzhou helped Gunwan turn around and get in the car, Xia Xiao and the others also got in the car and set off. You take a nap. I'll call you when we get to the ground. Chun Qingzhou helped Gunwan lie down on the bed and covered her with a blanket. Yeah, here's a bottle of Coke for you. Gunwan took out a bottle of Coke and handed it to Chun Qingzhou. Chun Qingzhou took the Coke, kissed Gunwan on the forehead, and went to drive. Gunwan played games for a while and then fell asleep. Chapter 24: Arrival at North City. After more than 2 hours of driving, Chun Qingzhou and his companions finally arrived at North City. North City is a relatively large city, so it is also a city with more zombies. They have encountered 2 waves of zombies along the way. Although there are no high-level zombies, it is still very energy-consuming. Gunwan woke up when she arrived at the outskirts of North City and was leaning against a kitchen window looking out. This is North City. It's so big. Chun Qingzhou saw Gunwan wake up from the rear-view mirror. You're awake. Well, I've been sleeping for a long time, and we've already reached North City. Gunwan sat in the co-pilot seat, where she had a wider view. She had never been to North City before. In her previous life, she wanted to find Chun Qingzhou, but she didn't reach North City either. She heard that North City was the most prosperous city in this area. Well, we're here. Let's drive a little further. We plan to look for some supplies and find a car for Brother Tian and the others. Okay, it just so happens that I also want to stock up some more supplies so that the space can be upgraded again. Gunwan was a little excited when she heard that she had to stock up on supplies. She had been too lazy recently and hadn't taken good care of her space. If she needed to get supplies, she might have forgotten that she had a space. 066 I feel helpless because my master has forgotten me. It was a bit confusing walking along the street without a navigation system. They arrived near a shopping mall before dark. Qingzhou, look, isn't that a shopping mall? Gunwan looked up and saw a place that looked like a shopping mall. Well, let's go over there. Chun Qingzhou drove the car to the underground garage of the shopping mall, and Xia Tian and the others followed in. After parking the car, Chun Qingzhou first used his mental thread to investigate the surrounding situation. Only when he felt that there were no zombies nearby did he give Xia Tian and the others an okay gesture. A few people got off the car and looked around first. There were a lot of cars in the underground garage of the shopping mall. Wow, so many luxury cars. Lu Qingshan was surprised. We already have the car. Let's see if there's a suitable one. Chun Qingzhou said as he started looking. Several people looked at them row by row and actually found a few suitable ones. There was a Mercedes limousine with its door open and a small RV with a key. It seemed that its owner had died in this garage. Just these two. Move the things from the cars and see if these two cars can start. I tried the Mercedes-Benz one-button start in the summer, and it worked. Lu Qingshan got into the RV and tried to start it, but then he realized the car was running out of gas. The car is running out of gas. It's okay, we have gas. Chun Qingzhou got in the car and asked Gunwan to get out the gas and then filled up both cars with gas. Now that we have a car, this Mercedes nanny car will be used to store supplies. Brother Tian, drive the car to that door, and we will go upstairs to find supplies. Chun Qingzhou pointed to a staircase. Okay, no problem. Gunwan also got off the car at this time, holding an electric baton in her hand. Chun Qingzhou and his men each held a machete. They went to the street first. Xia Tian and his men saw a men's clothing store and looked at their worn-out clothes. Brother Tian, let's go to the store and find some clothes.
Sun Zhe said.
Okay, Qingzhou, let's go to the store. Okay. Chun Qingzhou held Gunwan's hand tightly and entered the store. To their surprise, they encountered zombies as soon as they entered the store. The zombies might be the clerk of this store. He was still in uniform and was frozen just as he stretched out his arms in the summer. I was scared to death. Lu Qingshan patted his chest. He didn't pay attention and bumped into a zombie just now. Fortunately, Brother Tian reacted quickly. When Chun Qingzhou and his friends came in, the two zombies had already been crushed by Xia Tian. Gunwan gave Xia Tian a thumbs up, feeling that his ability had improved. Before, his ability could only attack at close range, but now it could also attack from a distance. Xia Tian's ability has indeed been upgraded, thanks to the recently seized crystal. Brother Tian, your ability has been upgraded. That's awesome. Lu Qingshan's eyes widened. Just now, there was a female zombie at the cashier counter a little distance from the door, but Brother Tian froze her in an instant. Well, it's time to level up. Let's find some clothes quickly. Several people walked through the clothes racks and quickly selected clothes and shoes. When Xia Tian and the others had walked far out of the store, Gunwan waved his hand, and the store was empty. They walked through a few shops, found some cotton-padded coats and down jackets, and then went downstairs. There were no zombies in the shops, so Gunwan just looked around and touched whatever she touched, and everything was put into her space. Because there were so many things, they went downstairs to store the supplies in the summer. Only Chun Qingzhou and Gunwan were left. Go ahead. Chun Qingzhou let go of Gunwan's hand. Gunwan smiled slightly and seemed to understand Chun Qingzhou. Gunwan waved her hand all the way, and several shops on the second floor of the mall were empty. They went downstairs to try their luck at the supermarket to see if there were any supplies. Xia Tian put away their things and went to the supermarket to enter. Let's go in. There were still some things in the supermarket, but not much. After picking and choosing, Gunwan and the others found rice, noodles, oil, seasonings, large barrels of mineral water, canned pickled mustard, and other fast foods. There were not many snacks left, and it was estimated that many survivors took the snacks. Xia Tian brought a few more pots and some kitchen utensils. He couldn't let Gunwan cook all the time as she was still a pregnant woman. When she arrived at the tissue section, Gunwan stocked up on a lot of diapers, tissues, sanitary napkins, and other things. Just as I was about to leave the supermarket, I heard a cry of help. Help. Then several girls who looked like students ran into the mall, followed by several zombies. Chun Qingzhou blocked Gunwan behind him and said, "Don't move here. I'll go take a look." Gunwan nodded. "You two stay and protect Xiaogu. I'll go take a look too." Xia Tian said to Sun Zhe and Lu Qingshan. Chun Qingzhou and Xia Tian blocked the zombie steps. When the zombies saw someone blocking them, they rushed towards Chun Qingzhou and the others frantically. Chun Qingzhou rubbed his pants, and a purple lightning fireball came out. He shot it out quickly, and the zombie in front of him was cracked to a crisp. The zombies behind became even more angry when they saw this and attacked Chun Qingzhou all at once. Xia Tian froze the three zombies with a big wave of his hand, and then crushed them all with a pinch of his hand. The three girls behind them were stunned by what they saw. They were so awesome. Chen Qingzhou fired another lightning bolt and killed the remaining zombies. Xia Tian went to dig crystals, and Chen Qingzhou turned around and asked a few girls, "Are you all right?" Several girls were stunned when they saw Chen Qingzhou looking back. He was so handsome. One of the girls came back to her senses first and looked at Chen Qingzhou shyly. "Fortunately, thank you for saving us. These two are my classmates Han Xiaomei and Li Lu. My name is Chen Tingting. Hello. Are you guys alone? You got separated from your teammates." Xia Tian came back after digging crystals. "We don't have any teammates. The students from the neighboring university and our dormitory who went out to dinner together never went back. We are the only ones left out of the 7. Chen Tingting said with a sob. Then where are you planning to go?" Xia Tian was in trouble when he heard that there were a few little girls. At this time, Gunwan and the other 3 also came over. Seeing Gunwan coming, Chen Qingzhou hurried over to support her. "Why did you come here?" "The smell is strong here." Gunwan shook Chen Qingzhou's hand and smiled. "It's okay." Chen Tingting and the other 3 were stunned when they saw Gunwan. How could she be so beautiful? And it was obvious that she had a special relationship with that handsome guy. It turned out that all the good men belonged to other people's families. "I heard what you said. I see that the 3 of them don't know where to go. Why don't they follow us? Are you willing?" Gunwan said to Chen Tingting and the other 3. "What do you two think?" Chen Tingting asked the other 2. "I do." Han Xiaomei agreed, without thinking. Li Lu hesitated for a moment. I think. "Xiao Lu, I know you want to find your boyfriend, but you don't know if he is still alive. What if he? The 3 of us have been trapped in this mall for so long, and he knew we were trapped here, but he didn't come to find you. What does that mean? He might have died or escaped and didn't care about you at all." Seeing Li Lu hesitate, Chen Tingting said what was in her heart. "I agree." After thinking about it, Li Lu also agreed. "Okay, do any of you know how to drive?" "I can." Li Lu raised her hand. "Okay, Brother Tian, let the 3 of them drive your car." Gunwan said to Xia Tian. "Okay. My name is Gunwan. This is my husband Chen Qingzhou. That is Xia Tian, Sunze, and Lu Qingshan." Gunwan introduced the people on her side to the 3 of them. "We're going to Haicheng. The journey may be a bit long and tiring. If you can't stand the journey, just tell me and you can quit. We can hold on." The 3 said in unison. "That's good. It's getting late today. Let's go to the car to rest." Gunwan looked at Chen Qingzhou, and Chen Qingzhou touched Gunwan's head lovingly. "Okay." Several people came to the underground garage, found a few empty parking spaces, and parked 4 cars in a row. "Can you 3 cook?" Gunwan asked the 3 girls. "I can do it," said Chen Tingting. "Okay, then I'll give you some ingredients and kitchen utensils." Gunwan turned around and got into the car, taking out some ingredients, seasonings, and kitchen utensils from the space, and giving them to Chen Tingting and the other 3. Chen Tingting was stunned to see so many ingredients and fruits. The 3 of them hadn't eaten fresh fruit for a long time. Every day they got things from the supermarket and cooked in the restaurant upstairs, but after not eating for so many days, there were no fresh vegetables and fruits in the supermarket. "Thank you, Sister Gu. Can I call you that?" Chen Tingting looked at Gunwan with sparkling eyes. "Of course." Several people went back to their cars to cook and rest. Xia Tian and his friends cooked in the RV, while Chen Tingting and her friends cooked in the SUV that Xia Tian used to drive. The trunk of the car was very big, and Xia Tian and his friends tidied it up and kept cooking there. Chapter 25. Chen Qingzhou's ability is upgraded again. "Wife, what are we having for dinner today? I'm so hungry." Chen Qingzhou hugged Gunwan, who was cooking. "Let's have noodles today. I'll give you some braised meat to make up for it. I'm in great shape. I don't need any supplements. You should eat more." Chen Qingzhou touched Gunwan's belly with a happy face. It turned out that there was such a feeling as being at home. "I'll just eat small meals more often, otherwise I'll be too fat and it will be hard to have children. I'm pregnant with twins. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. You're pregnant with twins, and you're still running around with me in the apocalypse. What nonsense are you talking about? It's God's gift that we can be together in this life, and this baby is also God's gift. Gunwon touched her belly and looked at Chen Qingzhou.
Oh.
Chen Qingzhou lowered his head and kissed Gunwon on the forehead. Aren't you curious why I let that girl follow us? Facing Chen Qingzhou's puzzled expression, Gunwon put down the shovel and sat on the sofa, motioning Chen Qingzhou to sit down. Chen Tingting was raped by a bald old man in order to save me in her previous life. I never thought I would meet her here in this life. I'm very lucky,
Gunwon said lightly.
Chen Qingzhou saw her sadness. Gunwon must have suffered a lot in her previous life. The end of the world is too unfair to girls from disadvantaged groups. It's okay. I've met her in this life, and I won't let the tragedy happen again. Gunwon held Chen Qingzhou's hand and had let it go in this life. Wash your hands and get ready for dinner. When Chen Qingzhou came back from washing his hands, Gunwon Xiao had already served the meal on the table. Why didn't you wait for me to serve it? I'm pregnant, but my hands aren't disabled. It's okay. I'll be in this car all day. I need to exercise more. Otherwise, it will be difficult to give birth in the future. Chen Qingzhou looked at Gunwon's belly, which seemed to be a little bigger. The two of them finished their meal. Since they were not going to have fun today, Chen Qingzhou decided to absorb the red crystals in front of him. He needs to improve his strength to better protect Gunwon. It was a long process to absorb the information. Gunwon got bored waiting, so she picked up a novel to read. I also gave myself some fruit and ate while reading. I have to say that this kind of brainless domineering literature is quite interesting. The male protagonists in the novels are all so handsome. When she looked up at Chen Qingzhou, who was sitting on the bed with his eyes closed, she thought Chen Qingzhou was so handsome, with that angular face and those 8-pack abs which were so tempting. But this man loved her so much that she would wake up laughing even in her dreams. Chen Qingzhou kept absorbing until the second half of the night. Gunwon fell asleep because she was really sleepy. In the middle of the night, she felt her body getting hotter and hotter. The heat made her mouth dry. She suddenly woke up and found that Chen Qingzhou's body was getting closer to her. His body was so hot. What was going on? Before Gunwon could stand up to see what was wrong with him, Chen Qingzhou kissed her. Woo-woo. Qingzhou, you're fine. What's wrong with Qingzhou? I hope the crystal won't backfire on me. Chen Qingzhou kissed Gunwon domineeringly and passionately, and soon she fell for him. The two of them stayed in love all night long. When Chen Qingzhou woke up, he was shocked to see the mess on the floor. He then realized what had happened when he saw Gunwon in his arms and found himself naked. Yesterday, he absorbed the power of the crystal, but he didn't expect that the power was too huge. He was unable to refine it and lost his rationality. Child. Chen Qingzhou slapped his forehead and quickly checked Gunwon. Fortunately, Gunwon just fell asleep due to tiredness. Chen Qingzhou moved his body and found that his mental ability had been upgraded. He probed a mental thread and found that the distance was farther than before, and there was a faintly glowing thing in his dantian. What's this? Energy pill? In his previous life, his superpowers were upgraded, but they did not form energy pills. This life was indeed different. Moreover, Chen Qingzhou also found that whenever he did this or that with Gunwon, his superpowers would fluctuate. Could this be the benefit God gave him after his rebirth? Gunwon is really a treasure. Chen Qingzhou gently wiped Gunwon's body and changed her into pajamas. He began to clean up the mess. The battle was really fierce yesterday, and both his clothes and Gunwon's clothes were torn. Fortunately, baby Gunwon was fine, otherwise he would have blamed himself to death. In fact, Gunwon was so tired when she woke up that she didn't even want to open her eyelids. This guy Chen Qingzhou went too far yesterday. She begged him for mercy so much, but he still. She was so angry that she decided to ignore him. Congratulations, master. The space has been upgraded. The 4th floor of the villa has been opened. The orchard area has been expanded by 20 square meters, and the planting base has been expanded by 20 square meters. At this time, the voice of 066 sounded in Gunwon's mind. Yes, she also left the space. It's great that she has upgraded. Thinking about it this way, Chun Qingzhou is still useful, but I just don't want to pay attention to him. Gunwan couldn't wait to enter the space to see what was on the 4th floor. There is a whole supermarket on the 4th floor of the villa, and the goods can be replenished after use. What the hell is this? If she had known this thing existed, why would she have worked so hard to stock up? Master, if you don't stock up, how can your space upgrade so quickly? Just your Chinanji's things, and things can't upgrade so quickly. And this supermarket doesn't have many things. The main things are food and snacks. If there are other things, you have to continue to stock up. Gunwan rolled her eyes. What a ridiculous setting. She thought that with a supermarket, she wouldn't have to stock up on goods anymore. She still had to work hard to find things. Gunwan went to the orchard again. The big, red cherries were ripe. She picked one and put it in her mouth. It tasted sour and sweet. Gunwan harvested the fruits and planted vegetables in the vacant land to make room. You're awake. Chun Qingzhou saw Gunwan wake up and hurried over to help her up. How are you? Are you feeling uncomfortable? You knew I was pregnant, and you did that yesterday, Humph. I ignored you. Gunwan pretended to be angry. I know I was wrong, wife. Chun Qingzhou pulled the corner of Gunwan's clothes and shook it, looking like he admitted his mistake. Gunwan secretly curled the corner of her mouth and said, I can't cure you, you little bastard. Not to mention that Chun Qingzhou looks quite cute as a young wife. Okay, I forgive you. Gunwan got up to wash up. Chun Qingzhou helped her out of bed and was very attentive to her. Wife, my ability has been upgraded again. All thanks to you. I didn't do it on purpose yesterday. I didn't control the amount of crystals I absorbed, and I absorbed too much and couldn't convert it. If you weren't here, I might have exploded and died. Gunwan didn't expect that Chun Qingzhou would be in danger without her yesterday. Then you should absorb a little less each time and not be so impatient for success.
Yeah.
Chun Qingzhou nodded. And I have formed a pill.
What?
You have achieved Dan. This is amazing. Don't you say that you need to reach level 10 to achieve Dan? You have achieved Dan at level 6. I don't know what's going on. As long as you get close to me, there will be an endless supply of power flowing into my dantian. Gunwan thought that her body couldn't be the legendary cauldron, suitable for repairing chains, so why didn't she have any special abilities? Chun Qingzhou made chicken soup for Gunwan, and after dinner, he discussed with Xia Tian and the others about the distribution. There were 4 cars. Chun Qingzhou was the first, Chun Tingting and the other 2 girls were the second, Xia Tian drove the nanny car in the first, and Lu Qingshan and Sun Ziqing drove the RV in the last. Gunwan lamented that the team was becoming stronger and stronger, from 2 people to 8 people. Chapter 26. Harvesting a Blue Crystal. The group left the underground garage and drove forward. They had originally planned to drive out of the North City today, but they didn't expect to encounter trouble. On a wide street, I encountered a group of high-level zombies. High-level zombies have intelligence and are very difficult to deal with. Oh no, there are high-level zombies nearby. Chun Qingzhou braked and stopped. What should I do? Chun Qingzhou thought for a moment and said, I'll get off. You stay in the car and don't move. It's safer in the car and they can't get in. If any zombies approach, just press this red button and the iron net outside will supply electricity. After Chun Qingzhou finished his communication, he got out of the car. Xia Tian and the other 3 men also got out of the car. Chun Tingting and the other 3 girls were trembling with fear in the car. Chun Qingzhou shouted, Girls, don't get off the car. Let's go deal with the zombies. Be careful, there are high-level zombies. We must fight quickly and decisively. Okay. Xia Tian rushed forward first, and with a flick of his hand, icicles flew out and knocked down a group of zombies. Chun Qingzhou also flew forward and rubbed a few purple thunders with his bare hands, which made a crackling sound. The remaining Sun Ziqing and Lu Qingshan are both Earth-type monsters and can only defend but not attack effectively. The 2 of them set up a defense line in front of several cars. Although they did not attack, they could resist ordinary zombies. Chun Qingzhou rubbed the thunder with both hands at the same time and saw a wild flash of purple lightning at the scene. The scene was quite beautiful. Xia Tian froze all the attacking zombies and destroyed them one by one with a pinch of his bare hands. Turning around, he saw Chen Qingzhou. It turned out that his alien had been upgraded. He thought he was so proud of the upgrade, but he didn't expect that comparison would make people feel depressed. What kind of inhuman physique did Chen Qingzhou have? He upgraded so quickly to level 6, while he was only level 3. Finally, a huge zombie appeared. It was big enough to hold 2 Chen Qingjis. Moreover, this zombie was very smart. It did not rush to attack, but circled around Chen Qingzhou and the others, as if thinking about how to take down Chen Qingzhou and Xia Tian in one fell swoop. Qingzhou, this zombie is a high-level zombie and is not easy to deal with. Xia Tian and Chen Qingzhou were standing back to back at this time. I want to ask, can you melt this alien? I probably haven't tried it. Then let's try it today. First, you control the thickness of the ice to be as thin as possible. Then I'll count to 123, and you'll start to melt. And then, at the end, I'll strike out with lightning. Xia Tian's eyes lit up after hearing Chen Qingzhou's plan. This plan was brilliant. Melting into water would not only require a strike from lightning, but water could also conduct electricity. Xia Tian nodded and began to freeze the zombies. He didn't use all his strength and tried to make the ice layer thinner. Now 1, 2, 3. Xia Tian waved his hand, and the ice began to melt. Chen Qingzhou saw the right moment and rubbed out 3 bolts of lightning. With a click, the zombies fell to the ground with purple light all over their bodies. Done. Xia Tian jumped up and high-fived Chen Qingzhou. Seeing that they had dealt with the zombies, Sun Zicheng and Lu Qingshan came over, took out their knives, and started digging crystals. Here, the crystal of that high-level zombie. Xia Tian handed a super blue crystal to Chen Qingzhou, who took it and put it in his pocket. Soon they collected a bag of crystals, most of which were yellow crystals, as well as red crystals from those high-level zombies and a blue crystal. It was a full harvest. When they returned to the car, several women also got out. How is it? Are you hurt? Gunwan took the blue crystal that Chen Qingzhou took out, her eyes shining. This was the first blue crystal, which meant that this zombie was particularly powerful. I'm not hurt. Keep the crystal first. Gunwan pretended to put it in her pocket but actually put it in the stream to wash it clean. She didn't like the crystal covered with the stench of zombies. It's new now, let's take a break and set off again in the afternoon. It looks like we can't leave the city today. Let's walk forward in the afternoon and find a place to rest when it gets dark. Chen Qingzhou said to a few people. Okay. Oh, by the way, Nuanyuan, please take out the intercom we found in the police station last time. We will put one in each car for easy communication. Gunwan got into the car and actually took out 3 intercoms from the space, as well as some electric batons and knives, and gave them to Xia Tian, Chen Tingting, and the others. Although Chen Tingting also had some doubts about where these things came from, she did not ask like Xia Tian and the others. After all, they were one family, and they had such good food to eat and such good self-defense items, so they just took care of it and didn't care where they came from. Okay, take a break. Do you have any food left? If not, tell me. We still have them. That's good. A few people got in the car and started cooking. Gunwan was feeling lazy today and didn't want to move, so she took out the ready-made dish she found in the restaurant from her space and heated it up in the microwave. Just make do with it today. I don't want to move today. Gunwan's aggrieved expression scared Chen Qingzhou, and he hurriedly hugged her. What's wrong? Are you feeling uncomfortable? No, I'm just a little tired today. I'm glad you're okay. Sit down, and I'll heat up the food. Chen Qingzhou helped Gunwan sit down on the sofa, put a cushion under her, and then heated up the dishes that Gunwan had brought out. There are braised lion head, spicy crayfish, stir-fried seasonal vegetables, and a soup. Today's lunch is also very rich. Chapter 27 First Fetal Movement. After lunch, we took a break and continued on our way. Gunwan was sitting in the passenger seat eating fruit salad and playing the Connect the Dots game. Chen Qingzhou looked at Gunwan from time to time and felt warm inside. Ah. Gunwan suddenly uttered. What's going on? Gunwan's eyes sparkled. She just felt the baby in her belly move. It was such a magical feeling. Could it be fetal movement? Honey, I just felt the baby move. As she spoke, she grabbed Chen Qingzhou's right hand and placed it on her belly, and the baby moved cooperatively. Ah, it's really moving. Chen Qingzhou was no longer calm at this moment. My wife, it's amazing. The baby is moving. Are you uncomfortable with this movement? Chen Qingzhou immediately cared about whether his wife was uncomfortable. He doted on his wife like crazy. No, if they move, it means the baby is healthy. I read it in a book. I will count the fetal movements every day from now on. At this moment, there was a sudden commotion outside the car window. Chen Qingzhou became alert and sent out his spiritual thread to investigate. He found a group of zombies running towards them, so he slowly stopped the car. They saw a large group of zombies rushing towards them. Wife, don't be afraid. Stay in the car and don't get out. Chen Qingzhou picked up his weapon and prepared to get out of the car to fight off the zombies. Gunwan grabbed his hand worriedly. Hubby, be careful. Chen Qingzhou nodded, got out of the car, and rushed towards the zombie group. He was agile, and each of his attacks hit the zombies accurately and did great harm. But the zombies kept pouring in, and he gradually found it difficult. Xia Tian just waved his hands to resist the zombies. At this moment, Gunwan felt the baby in her belly moving violently a few times again, and then she found that the zombies around her seemed to be frightened by something, and their movements became slow. Gunwan's heart moved. Could it be that the baby has special abilities? She mustered up the courage to get out of the car and walked towards Chen Qingzhou. As she got closer, the zombies retreated even further. Chen Qingzhou looked at Gunwan in surprise, and the two looked at each other and realized that this unborn child might have a strong power to fight against zombies. Xia Tian was surprised. What was going on? Gunwan was shocked. She stood still and gently stroked her belly, trying to guide the baby to release more of this deterrent power. Chen Qingzhou protected her in front of her to prevent the zombies from suddenly attacking. The zombies began to retreat one after another, and the encirclement gradually expanded. Seeing this, Xia Tian slowly moved closer. Maybe we can take this opportunity to leave quickly, Xia Tian suggested. However, Gunwan shook her head. She had a strong intuition that if she figured out the secret of the baby's ability now, she might be able to find a way to completely resolve the zombie crisis. So she closed her eyes, concentrated on feeling the baby's condition, and tried to communicate with him. Suddenly, a faint consciousness came into her mind. It was the voice of the baby, which seemed to convey a desire to get rid of these zombies. Gunwan opened her eyes and walked towards the zombie group with a determined look. Chen Qingzhou wanted to stop it, but he held back when he saw Gunwan's resolute look. When Gunwan walked in front of the zombie group, a soft light emanated from her abdomen, enveloping the nearby zombies. Under the light, the zombies gradually stopped struggling. Their eyes became clearer, and then they turned and ran away. But the baby was too young and lacked energy, so he could only fight against those zombies. Seeing this, several high-level zombies rushed towards Gunwan frantically. Chen Qingzhou hurried forward and sent out purple lightning, and Xia Tian sent out icicles. There were more and more zombies, but when Gunwan walked forward, the zombies moved backward. At this time, Chen Qingzhou released his mental thread to control some of the zombies, and several people quickly got into the car. After getting in the car, Gunwan felt a little tired. This wave of operations consumed a lot of Gunwan's energy, and her stomach ached slightly. Is baby 066 okay? Gunwan asked the system in her heart. It's okay. It just consumes a lot of energy. Just take it slow. Chapter 28 Miraculous Baby. Nuanyuan, how are you? Chen Qingzhou hurriedly asked about Gunwan's physical condition. It's okay. I'm just a little tired. It's okay. Our babies are so amazing. They actually have superpowers, and such powerful pure superpowers. Chen Qingzhou was very surprised. Yeah, I didn't expect it. I just thought about it in my mind, and the baby attacked the zombies. It's incredible. I'm pregnant with 3 magical babies. Gunwan stroked her belly soothingly. Yes, thank you, my wife, for being willing to give birth to a baby for me. Chen Qingzhou looked at Gunwan affectionately from time to time while driving. What nonsense are you talking about? They are my babies too. As he spoke, Gunwan took out milk, sandwiches, and some fruits from the space and started eating. This area is unsafe and there are many zombies. We are expected to leave the city before dark today. Chen Qingzhou chatted with Gunwan while driving. After leaving North City, where is our next stop? Let's go to Yanqing for the next stop. It is said that a large survivor base was built there in the previous life, with complete defense facilities and sufficient supplies. Let's go there first, and then set off for Haiqing. Chen Qingzhou said after thinking for a moment. But Yanqing is very far from here. Will we encounter too many dangers on the way? Gunwan frowned in worry. There are indeed risks, but at the moment, Yanqing is relatively safe. And we now have sufficient supplies, plus the children's special abilities, and Xia Yu's and my special abilities. As long as we are careful, we should be able to arrive safely. Chen Qingzhou comforted. At this moment, the car suddenly shook violently. Oh no, there's a group of zombies blocking the road ahead. Chen Qingzhou gripped the steering wheel tightly. Gunwan's eyes became firm. Don't be afraid, and the babies are here. Babies, it's time to show your strength. Gunwan's belly emitted a soft light, and then several small balls of light rushed towards the group of zombies. The zombies seemed to be under great threat, and began to retreat. She is worthy of being your child. Chen Qingzhou breathed a sigh of relief, restarted the car, and drove towards Yanqing. Gunwan and the fetus in her belly provided them with another guarantee for survival in the Doomsday. Before dark, Chen Qingzhou and his companions drove out of the North City. The road ahead was longer, and there were no big cities. Chen Qingzhou gave up the small road on the mainland. There were more cars and zombies on the mainland, and the small road was remote and less crowded with zombies, so it would take less time to travel. During the break, Gunwan took out some vegetables and fruits for Xia Xiao and Chen Tingting. Brother Xiao, this bag is for you. Chen Qingzhou came down from the RV carrying 2 bags. Thank you, Brother Qingzhou. It's a blessing to follow you. There is always a supply of vegetables and fruits, and they are all delicious. Chen Tingting, this is for you 3. Chen Qingzhou handed a black bag to Chen Tingting and the others. Okay, thank you, Sister Nguan. Chen Tingting smiled at Gunwan. It was great to have fruit to eat again. Since eating the fruit given by Gunwan, she felt that her skin had improved. Don't be polite. We won't treat you unfairly. We are a team. Chen Qingzhou helped Gunwan get off the RV. Are you guys resting today? Gunwan asked Chen Qingzhou. Chen Qingzhou released his spiritual thread to explore the surroundings and confirmed that there were no zombies. Okay, let's rest here today. It's safe around here. We men will take turns guarding at night. Okay. Xia Xiao, Sun Zhe, and Lu Qingshan agreed at the same time. They now followed Chen Qingzhou's lead. The 3 of them had followed the right person this time. Not only was Chen Qingzhou powerful, but now even the 3 unborn babies were so powerful. This time they had great hopes of reaching their destination, Haiqing. We plan to go to Yanqing first. There is a military area there, so it might be safer. Let's go there to rest and see if our abilities can be upgraded, or if any of us have activated our abilities, and then we can go to Haiqing. Xiaoyu thought about it and felt that what Chen Qingzhou said was right. He should rest first. If the ability can be upgraded, their team will be even stronger. Now Chen Qingzhou's ability is level 6, his own ability is level 4, and Sun Zhe and Lu Qingshan both have level 3 abilities. The 3 girls don't have superpowers, and Gunwan doesn't have superpowers either, but the baby in her belly does have superpowers, and they're awesome superpowers. Several people started to cook. Today they were outdoors, and Gunwan said they wanted to eat barbecue, so they took out the grill and charcoal as well as meat, vegetables, skewers, and seasonings for barbecue. They sat down with Chen Tingting and the other 2 to chat. Today's dinner was prepared by several men. Not to mention that in this special end of the world, they can still have a picnic and barbecue, which is really a delicacy.